Hello and welcome to Oracle Hour. My name is Sabrina Rising, and I am a spiritual mentor and a psychic medium. And every week I host this show, and I love being here with you all. Thank you all to all of those who join me here live every week. This hour is dedicated to discussing topics about spirituality, personal development, healing, whatever it is that you might be struggling with in your life. I usually, talk a little bit about what's going on in the world and how we might be feeling right now, what the collective energy is. And I also take live questions. So if you have a question about your own journey or about your own whatever it is that you might be struggling with, if you are looking for some spiritual guidance, some intuitive hits, or if you want to connect with your spirit team and receive messages from the spirit realm, I'm happy to facilitate that for you. And so, obviously I'm in Los Angeles. I'm safe from fire, but not immune to what's happening in our city. And I want to just address that for a moment. I know we talked about that last week, and I want to address again that this is something ongoing, that there's a lot of devastation and tragedy happening in our city right now. And it's really a time that is very challenging for so many of us. And for those of us that are in the physical experience of interfacing with this tragedy, there's very few words that can console you other than just a lot of empathy. And so I'm really dedicating my personal practice daily to just sending empathy and lots of compassion, and of course donating and doing the things that I can do. And so if you're in a position to give or a position to do something, to take action or to get in touch with your local community, please do so. Okay, there's lots of resources for that. It's interesting that we just had a full moon in Cancer, and this really brings up a lot of emotions. It really triggers up a lot of our inner child emotions, our unmet needs. It can be a very emotional time, and we can feel pretty angry about that. Right. And so again, this is all these fires and everything that we're going through here locally, and whatever you might be going through in your own life is just conjuring up a lot of stuff, unresolved stuff that's coming to the surface, that's here to be met with compassion and non-judgment. Okay. So Cancer is all about developing compassion. It's all about, being sensitive to those emotions, to nurturing our emotions, to learning how to release judgment of ourselves and of other people, forgiving ourselves and other people, and really being able to be in that soft space of letting yourself feel whatever's there. There's a tendency when we experience uncomfortable emotions, whether it's fear or stress or anxiety, or anger, whatever the uncomfortable emotion is, it's challenging for so many of us to just learn to sit in that discomfort. Right, the automatic reaction is to want to do something to fix it. Whether some of us deny that it's there, or some of us will tend to want to medicate it or numb ourselves, or do something to get us out of this discomfort. And this is so not productive to what we actually need. It doesn't meet our need for resolution and for peace and for calm and for healing. Okay. So for those of you that are struggling with uncomfortable feelings, wherever you are in the world, whatever's coming up for you, give yourself permission to just acknowledge what's there and really learn to sit with it, and just put your hand on your heart. This is one of my favorite practices. What I do when I'm feeling triggered is taking some big belly breaths. The diaphragmatic breathing slows down the central nervous system. It puts us in relax and digest mode. It allows us to assimilate what's happening, and really feel the depths of our emotions. And again, giving yourself permission to feel the full range of your emotions and to meet yourself with compassion and non-judgment. Most of us were not raised in compassionate, unconditionally loving environments. Even if it was a happy childhood, chances are there were times where you didn't experience unconditional love. Your love was conditional. And so it's really important to learn how to, and I believe that unconditional love is accessible to all of us, as an overall way of being, if we're really committed to healing ourselves. And so just being aware of how we judge ourselves, how we hold ourselves back, and how we prevent ourselves from feeling our feelings because they're not comfortable. We want to avoid them, and we wish we didn't have them. So again, as you're delving into this, wherever you are in the world and whatever it is that you're going through, give yourself permission to feel the full range of your emotions, meet them with compassion and non-judgment. You have the power to reparent yourself, and it's actually your responsibility to do that. Okay, it's whatever happened to you in your childhood is not your fault, but you are responsible for healing that. And this is where we become sovereign and self-created. And this is also the place where we can start to manifest more of what it is that we love and desire into our lives, because we've cleaned our slate, right? We've let go of our resentments. We've let go of the past. We've let go of whatever it is that might be holding us back. Okay. And so this is my wish for all of you, is to be in this soft, Cancer, watery, lunar energy, just allowing it to cleanse you of whatever it is that is keeping you stuck in uncomfortable emotions, and really bringing yourself peace and healing. There's a lot of different full moon rituals you can do as well. I like to, just kind of, especially around the full moon, is all about letting go. So I like to usually write out a list of things that I'm letting go of, and then doing a guided meditation practice. Of course, it doesn't have to be anything elaborate, but any type of ritual that is very intentional around releasing and letting go will help alleviate some of the energy that gets built up during this time of the month. And speaking of forgiveness, I want to just thank everybody who registered for my live mediumship demonstration. That was last week. We had a wonderful event. It could not have gone any better. I'm so happy for the people who came, and those of you that got connections with your loved ones in the spirit realm. It was so good that I'm hosting another one. It's going to be on March 1st at 10 a.m. And we'll post a link to that at some point. It's on my website, but we'll post a link to that at the end of this video, so you can register. It is a limited seating, 15 people. So jump on it if you want to connect with your loved ones. This is a little bit of a different mediumship offering. It's a 2-hour workshop that's dedicated to forgiveness. So I feel very inspired, especially with the energy that's in the air lately, to dedicate this workshop to connecting with anyone who's crossed over, that has wronged you, harmed you, that you're struggling with, that you're unresolved with, that you really want to receive closure around. So those type of connections, this is what the workshop is focused on. Of course, whoever else is there in the spirit realm that wants to come forward will come forward for you. And there is a worksheet involved as well, so you'll get a breakthrough regardless of where you're at in your healing journey. We're going to do some inner work around forgiveness as well. So that's going to be on March 1st at 10 a.m. Pacific. So don't forget to register for that. And of course, if you're watching and you like this content, don't forget to subscribe or hit the like button, and tell your friends about Oracle Hour. Any other types of sessions you want to book with me are also available on my website, and the links are at the bottom of this video as well. Okay. So with that said, hi, everybody. I see a lot of people I know. It's good to see you back every week. Hi, Angela. Hi, AC. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Anne. It's good to see you all. I will take my trusted friend Lacey's here tonight moderating for me, so I'll take the first question. Hi, AC. AC says, how do you balance being realistic but also remaining optimistic? Oh, this is such a good question. Okay, I've been talking for 8 minutes. I'm gonna take a sip of water and answer your question. I love this question because, what is realistic? Well, let's define these terms, right? Because realistic for most of us means, putting a limit on what's possible. Okay. I think that we need to change the terminology around being comfortable with whatever it is you're manifesting. It feels accessible. It feels like it's possible for you. Okay. Optimism is a mindset. It's a disposition. It's a way of being. And ultimately it's a choice. If you have a lot of, if we're, this is specifically to you, I see, but it's also for everybody watching. If one has a history of disappointment and failure and rejection and, feeling limited in their experience, then that's going to, jade your ability to be optimistic, right? That's going to filter how you view yourself and what's possible for you. Okay. And this is normal. And so it's really important as you're creating, optimism and an optimistic mindset. You might want to shoot for the stars, for example, but then there's a part of you that says, well, I can only do this, or I can only do that, or I got to keep it real, or I got to stay within my realm of what's possible. Okay. So I want to say, and I know this is kind of a long answer to your question. Your reality is whatever you perceive. So you want to do the work to clear out any limiting beliefs first, and then create your view of what's possible for you. Creating a view of what's possible when you have unresolved issues about your past or disappointments or mistakes is going to really limit you, right? It's in fact the ego mind, which is your identity, is going to want to keep you safe, right? This is how we survive, right? Especially if you've had a heartbreak, for example, and you start dating again. This is a perfect example. You might go into these new dates, this first date, the second date, very guarded, right? And not willing to fully love and not willing to fully trust because you have unresolved trauma from your past experiences. So we have to really look at our mindset. So AC, I want you to look at your mindset. What is, AC says, yes, that's how I feel. I have experienced so much disappointment, but now I feel I want to be more optimistic. Good. Okay. Well, this is why this is coming through for you. Okay. So this is so important to really look at, okay, if you're feeling like you want to be more optimistic, then there's a part of you that's ready to heal, right? You're ready to let go. You're ready to recover. You're ready to move forward into this new energy. There's, a part of you that might be completing some cycle in your life, and you're ready to put that down. In fact, if I tune into your energy specifically, AC, you're in for a fresh start. I say your time for a fresh start. So this is like why you're feeling that way. There's like, I don't want to carry this with me into the next version of myself or the next iteration of whatever it is that I'm creating. And so this is a good place to be. Okay. And so I want you, good. You're welcome. AC says, so helpful. Thank you. So I want you to really focus on just like maybe make a list of all your limiting beliefs, of all the things in the past that, or all of the beliefs you have based on what happened in your past. Okay. For example, I've had all these disappointments, and so I'm not sure about the possibility of getting a new job, or the possibility of moving forward, or the possibility of making a lot of money, or whatever the possibility is that you feel is you have to be realistic around. Okay. So look at those events, look at the limiting beliefs that those events have created, and then make a conscious choice to forgive yourself, to forgive the circumstances, to let it go, to understand that your past does not define what's possible for you. You define what's possible for you in any moment. You can choose. You can hit the reset button on your unconscious, subconscious mind and create new affirmations that feel accessible. Like, this is a really important body of work for all of you that are creating a new reality. Okay. If you want, for example, and I talk about this when I talk about rewiring the unconscious, we want to add affirmations that feel accessible. So you can actually start within the realm of what feels reasonable. And as things start to manifest, you can expand your capacity for new possibilities. Okay. This is the advice I would give anyone who's trying to manifest new and better and more and bigger and richer and deeper and more connective experiences. Okay. This is my wish for all beings everywhere, is as you start to rewire your subconscious and you start to create these new affirmations, you can start with baby steps. You can start with little things like, more love or more transparency, more honesty, better health. Like, start with little things and then start. And as you see the evidence of that show up, then you can really expand. Because once we start to open up to the flow of abundance, and this could be in any area of life, it doesn't have to be just financial, it could be anything. You'll start to see that flow expands, and it allows you to have more and to feel better. And when you have this process, you naturally become more optimistic. Okay, so optimism is sustainable optimism is a direct byproduct of the inner work that we do to clear out the past and to be willing to believe that something better is available to us. Okay. So I hope that's helpful for you, AC. And I know I'm kind of going on and on. Okay, here we go. Oh, thank you. I love the colors I'm wearing too. I appreciate that. Okay, so next question. Hi, Anne. Hi, Sabrina. Anne says, last week you mentioned in the next month or so, I'll have to make a swift action about something. Can you tell me more about that? Thank you. Let me see. So when I'm channeling messages, it's really I want to encourage everybody, whoever is receiving a message, to really sort of try and piece it together, because I don't know the details of your life, but I'll see what's there for you tonight, and maybe that we can link these for you. Okay. Um, I think that this is what came through before, but I'm not sure. So you're gonna have to verify in the comments if it is or not. But I think that there's something around your energy is very. Every time I tune in, there's still this theme of relocating or moving. Like uh, yeah, I maybe the swift action is just a decision, like about making up your mind about something. I feel like there's something that you sort of are contemplating, and you're hemming and hawing, and you're not sure, and there's a lot of hesitation. So I think that there's something about moving, and there's something to do with your life, the way you operate in your daily life, that's switching, and you're going to have to make a decision about that. And I think that there is, let me see. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can see that you're saying there's no plans for that, but I think that if they haven't come up yet, they will. Okay, so there is either something in your career or in your location, something to do with the physical realm that's shifting. Let me see. Here we go. I've been doing that. Oh, I've been thinking about getting a new pet. Okay, good. Well, that would definitely affect your daily life, and the way that you operate on a daily basis. And there's something else on top of that as well. So um, I mean, yes, on the new pet, like there's a dog coming into your life, and so this is something that you are ready to embrace, and I think you're preparing yourself to sort of connect with this new animal and make room in your heart, make room in your house. But there's going to be a shift in either what you're doing for work, or what you're doing, or where you're living, that's coming this year for you. Okay, so I would just kind of bookmark that, and just prepare yourself, and just think about. I don't want to answer this question, because timelines are tricky. It really depends on you. You have free will. You can shift your energy in any moment. And so I think it's going to happen within the next like 3 to 6 months, just generally speaking. There is a switch, and it could be good. It could be that you're staying in the same company, but just switching positions, like so just going to a different role. It could be that someone is either leaving their role, leaving their position. Oh, there's this opening that comes up, okay, for you. It's unexpected, and it's, again, something that happens relatively quickly. Okay. And yes, on a new pet, let me know when that happens. I'll be very happy for you. It's going to be a really good thing for your life. I hope that's helpful. Okay, good. Yeah, I will take, let me see here. Hello, Canada. Nice to see you. Hi, Jennifer. Please ask the guides if I'm missing anything, or if I'm on track for meeting the goals I have. Thank you. Okay. All right. I like this question. It's more specific. Let me see what I have for you tonight. I don't feel like you're missing anything. And not in the sense of the way that you're asking it. I think that I really feel like you've done a good, thorough job of dotting all your I's and crossing all your T's, and making sure that you have everything in place for this transition it seems that you seem to be in. The only thing I would encourage you to do more of is, like, it's time for you to share your plans with other people. And so I want you to invite in more support. So invite in more network or friends or family or community into whatever it is that you're doing, because I feel like you have help that you're not fully accessing. At this time, you have help. You have people that want to support you, like family that wants to support you. I want to say too, the other thing that's coming through tonight is that your family is having an opportunity of I feel like they're seeing you, or they're learning to appreciate you in a new way. Okay. They're seeing something, some side of you that they haven't seen before, that they're learning to appreciate in a new way. And it's creating a lot of momentum. Like there's a lot of strength that you're bringing to your environment, that's being well sort of received or acknowledged. Even if they haven't told you yet, they see it. And so I feel like you're in a really positive place, to to move forward. See if I have anything else for you, Jennifer. And let me know if any of this resonates. Of course, always. That's always helpful. Um, um, yeah, I mean, I think that I think you're in a good place. I feel like your energy is very strong, and you're coming in very sort of grounded and connected to what it is that you're doing and creating, and you have support. So leaning into your, friends and environment, so that you can really harness that support. Let me see what you're saying here. Lacey, can you post her comment? See here. Here, I'll post it. I just wanted to go smoothly. I really don't contact with okay, can be friends. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell if it's soul tribe or biological family, but there are people in your life that you can lean onto and have support from, that really want to help you with what you're doing. So yeah, I think you have everything's in place. You just have to be patient and trust that you're in the right place, and that you're doing the energetic work to align with your desires. I mean, this is so important, that when we want something, we are not focused on not having it. We're focused on aligning with what it feels like to already have it, what it feels like for it to already be present in our lives, how joyful that feels, how liberating that feels. It's interesting you say you have no contact with your biological family, and we're talking about forgiveness tonight, right? And so of course I would never force anyone to do something that doesn't feel right to you, especially given what's happened in the past. But this could be a good time to consider even just forgiving them, just internally, just so that you could have peace, right? And just letting go of that resentment, letting go of whatever is unresolved between you and your family members, so that you can travel light. Right. So this is really important. The patient part, that's the fun part. Yeah, that's the fun part for all of us, and here's the thing, is that it's always going to come at the right time. I know that in hindsight, we all know this. We look back and we say, it happened exactly when it was supposed to, in exactly the perfect way. And the goal here as conscious human beings is to learn how to have such implicit trust in the divine unfolding of the universe, that everything is, you just know that if it's not now, it's not yet. And it's not a no, it's just not yet. And it's because you're not ready, and it's always going to come at the right time. Okay. So I want you to really trust that. They've dropped contact. I'm good with the whole thing. I've cut cords and forgiven them. Okay, good. As long as you have peace with the circumstances, that's the most important thing, because when we hold on to unresolved issues, that can, even unconsciously, that can really hold us back. Okay. And I want you to focus on you, there is, so many of us are born into environments where we're misunderstood, where people don't really, get us. They want us to behave a certain way. We don't behave a certain way. We are our own person. Like I said, you have a very strong energy. So I want you to just focus on you and living your own life. You're welcome, and keep doing everything you're doing, because things are working out for you. Okay. And come back and let me know how things are unfolding. And I'd love to hear about what's happening in your life. Okay. Thanks for stopping by. Hi, Jolie. Jolie James says, "Hi, Sabrina. I would love to know if anything is coming up for me. Thank you." Okay. Let me see. Mm. You know, there's something around family and relationships for you tonight. I actually speak French. I'm born and raised in Montreal. That's why I say your name that way. So um, there's something around family and relationships, and I think you're my coach. I think you were here before, and we sort of talked about your programs and stuff like that. I seem to remember that just as I'm tuning into your energy, closing my eyes. So I feel like that's kind of, that's a work in progress. You're still kind of working on that. I don't really want to touch on that tonight. What I want to touch on is, um, okay, good. Um, I want to touch on family and friends relationships, and specifically you getting your own needs met in relationships. Okay, so um, I feel like there's some old wounds coming up around this time, something to do with mom, female energy, maybe even a sister or something, but like it could be sister in the metaphorical sense as well. So, just I really want you to focus on your relationship to the feminine and making sure that you're getting your needs met in your relationships. Okay. So, you know, you have a tendency at times to like overgive or let me see here, visually saying, okay, good. So yeah, I feel like you have a tendency to like overgive or feel unappreciated or feel like, you do a lot and that kind of thing, like overextend. And I really want you to heal this part. I want you to focus right now. This time for you is about reassessing how you show up in relationships so that you are maintaining a standard of reciprocity. Okay, that's the word that's coming through. Overgive or carry the emotional weight. Yeah, I feel that in your energy as I'm talking to you. So this is for the word for you tonight is reciprocity. This is what the standard I want you to maintain in your relationships. If it's not reciprocal, address it because it's building resentment. Okay, and it's creating bitterness. And this is the stuff that bogs us down, that holds us back, that keeps us small, that keeps us guarded, that limits us from creating what's possible in our lives. So I really want you to evaluate those relationships and see how and reciprocity applies to your business too. There's a value that's being exchanged for the service that you give. Does what you're charging reflect your value, what you believe your work is valued at, right? So I want you to really take a magnifying glass throughout, um, over your life, every area of your life, and make sure you're checking for reciprocity and making those corrections wherever necessary. Okay. So there's something in your relationship with your mom too that is coming up now. And so I want you to really focus on healing that and opening up your heart and believing that you can ask for more and get more of your needs met. This is going to be very helpful for you, especially as you move through the year and you create more relationship. This is going to affect your romantic life as well. So it's important for you to focus on healing that part of your life. Good. Jolie says, I needed to hear that. Yes, thank you. You're so welcome. Inner work is it's such an essential part of being able to feel well, and to be able to create a life that we love. And it's an ongoing process. For those of you that are here tonight, you're obviously committed to your spirituality, to your healing, to your personal development. Nobody gets a break from this work, right? There's no such thing as a home free state. So it's important to always revisit some of these childhood wounds to make sure that we're in alignment with love, that we have peace internally, that we're taking care of ourselves, that we're getting our needs met, that our cup is full. That way we can come to our daily lives feeling fulfilled, feeling like we are capable of manifesting more good things in our lives. Okay, so this is for you tonight. All right. Jolie says, keeping my heart open has been challenging where the love has had, where, when there have been difficult circumstances. Yeah. Yeah, and that's challenging for everybody. When we are triggered, when we are hurt, when we're disappointed, when we're let down, our tendency is to close our hearts and to board them up and guard them and make sure we never get hurt again, right? This is what the identity does. It wants to keep you safe, and this is normal, right? And so for those of us that want to have loving, intimate relationships with other people, whether that's friendships or romantic relationships or family relationships, we have to constantly be in that place of transparency, of sharing our feelings, of working through unresolved issues, finding closure, getting complete, and moving on so that we can stay, as AC mentioned at the beginning, in that perpetual state of optimism. Right? You want to stay optimistic. We can't be optimistic if we're not traveling light, as we say. Okay, so very important for everybody to just take this time, especially now with this full moon energy that we just traversed, to really look at some of those unmet needs and how you're not meeting your own needs, right? Because we, as adults, we're sovereign beings and we're responsible for the quality of our relationships. So we must advocate for ourselves. Okay, and this is obviously something that it requires attention. It requires tools and skillfulness and the willingness to talk about it. Okay. So I hope that's helpful. Thank you for stopping by, Jolie. Hi, Ninja Kitten. Hi, Ninja Kitten says, hi, Sabrina. I'd like to know if my guides have any messages for me about my current life. I'm tempted to be more specific, but I want to be fully open. You can be more specific. The more specific you are, the more information I can give you. So it's entirely up to you. I can just tune in generally, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Let me see here what I have for you, Ninja Kitten. Again, relationships, right? Relationships and love life. That's what I'm feeling when I tune into your energy. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what I feel. It's like family relationships and romantic relationships. So same for you. This seems to be the theme tonight. Okay. So, okay. And Nijikin says my sister and how she's responding to my relationship. Okay. So family. Yes, you're laughing too. Good. Family and romance. So, you need boundaries, like big time in this relationship with your sister. She has some concerns about the person you're dating. This is clear. You've sort of intimated that so far. And, I want you to sort of for you. Okay, so there is some tendency to operate in codependent patterns. Okay, whether we're talking about your sister or even the person that you're dating. Okay, and so it's important for you to just kind of take a step back right now and recognize that you can't make everybody happy. Okay, you're only responsible for your own experience. Everybody else is having the experience they're supposed to have, and really own this relationship with your sister. Set up the proper boundaries so that how she reacts and doesn't react to whoever it is that you're dating, you can witness it and not be triggered by it. Okay, so this is going to take some work. I feel like there's a little bit of deep down inside, I feel like she's afraid of losing you, like afraid of you moving on with your life, or you finding she's afraid of losing the closeness and the bond and the it's kind of, I want to say too, what's coming through, and maybe you can verify this for me. It's almost like she wants you to be where she is, or in the same place that she is, or wherever she is in her life. Like she wants you to stay here, like the same, that's the best way I can articulate it. And so, and it's not because she doesn't want you to be happy. It's just because there is some insecurity there for her around the person that you're dating. And so I really just want you to focus on, being gentle and communicating with love in very nonviolent ways about how some of her behavior affects you, and that you really want to maintain the bond and you want to maintain closeness, however that, whatever that looks like for you in your own relationship, whatever that means to you, and that and that the person that you're dating is someone that you're enjoying, and that you want to be able to go through this experience without feeling like you have to defend yourself or mitigate her judgments. Okay. I hope that's helpful, Ninja Kitten. I hope that's helpful to you, and feel free to let's see what you're saying. Oh, Ninja Kitten says, oh, that's spot on. Yes, she preferred when I was single and my relationship triggers her limiting. Yeah, this is the feeling. It's like, you need to stay here with me. Like, well, let's both be single together, or let's, it's almost like miseryless company, right? And not that she's miserable, but I'm sensing she's not in a happy, connected, thriving romantic partnership, or else she would be leaving you alone, right? So, so, I really, again, I want you to approach this with gentleness. Okay. And kindness and compassion. These are the themes tonight. You can hear it. Like I've said resentment a bunch of times. I've said compassion a whole bunch of times. Like, really have compassion for where she's at. You're welcome. Ninja Kitten says, thank you very much. You want to really just have compassion for where she is, and just, hey, I know this might be hard, or might be challenging to see me move on with my life, and so on. And, I'm not going anywhere. I'll always be there for you. We're just going to have to adjust, the time a little bit, you might not be as available as you always were, but you can still make time for her, and just reassure her that you're not going anywhere just because you've moved on with your life and you found someone. Okay. So really focus on that. This is the piece that's coming up right now in the immediate future. Okay, you're welcome. Thank you for stopping by. And if you like this content, don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends. Hi, Rhonda. Nice to see you. But I'm really thirsty tonight. Okay, Rhonda says, hello, Sabrina. I'm hesitant to ask any questions because I feel untethered. Okay, this is the best time to ask questions. Please tell me something to help me, please, and thank you. Okay. Okay, I'm going to help you. So, as I mentioned, there's a lot of emotions being triggered for so many of us, especially during this phase of the moon and the Cancer energy. So the best thing you can do is to ground. When you're feeling untethered, is you want to ground. So I'm going to recommend for you, Rhonda, some deep diaphragmatic breathing. Okay, I'm probably sure you've heard me say this before, but big belly breaths. Big inhale, belly out. Exhale, let the belly drop naturally. Just practicing this deep diaphragmatic breathing and just relaxing and meeting those emotions that come up with compassion and non-judgment and love. Okay, this is a time to be gentle and soft with yourself. Again, there's this theme of relationships and friction and conflict, and there's some fear. I feel like you're experiencing some fear and uncertainty, and so the best thing you can do is use the breath to ground yourself and just bring yourself back into a mindfulness practice, and all is well right here, right now. A good grounding technique is to put your feet on the ground and really connect to the earth beneath your feet. You can close your eyes and do a visualization and see, roots, like tree roots, growing out from underneath you and connecting into the ground and just planting you where you are, keeping you safe, and scanning the five senses. What can you, see, hear, touch, smell, taste, just to make sure that you are right here, right now, in the current moment. Practice these techniques, and that will bring you into your body. Okay, and feel free to ask me any questions that you want. I'm happy to answer those. I want to say, Rhonda, and I know you didn't ask me any specific questions, but I'm going to share this with you anyways. There is a male energy that I would. You're saying, what are you saying? I reached somatic exercises this week. I have magnetic insoles. Yes, grounding. Okay, good. Good. So you're doing the work. You're tuned in. You're aware. There is a male energy. Oh, researched. Okay. So there's a male energy that I would like you to be vigilant about in your life. Like someone, um, it feels like a younger male energy that I want you to be vigilant around in your life. Again, I hear the word boundaries. Okay. So as I tune into your energy, I want you to really focus on like not giving your power away and bringing yourself back to center, focusing on you and putting some good boundaries around this particular relationship. Okay. And it doesn't have to be young in years, but it can just be young in emotional intelligence. So, for specifically for you, like there's a lot of like frenetic fear-based energy going out, leaking from you. And the somatic exercises are perfect, and it's exactly what I'm recommending because it's breath work and it's bringing you into your body. A breath work class would be fantastic. And the magnetic insoles are good, but I prefer your feet in the ground. I prefer. Oh, your grandson. Okay, good. So this is what I'm feeling. There's a lot of stress around his behavior, a lot of stress around what to do about him, and that kind of thing. So, this is not your burden to carry. Okay. I want you to practice surrendering it to God, like surrendering it to the universe, asking for guidance, asking for support. Okay. There is a need for boundaries here, and that's going to help you because you're a very sensitive person. And so you're taking on, let me see, he's 35. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, not necessarily young in years, but we're talking about emotional intelligence. Okay. So, I want you to really just focus on putting those boundaries in place and not taking on so much of his problems. Okay, you're not responsible for him. All right, and this will help unplug you from the chaos of his life and keep you focused on you and your own well-being. Okay. So yeah, boundaries and, maybe not answering the phone. Again, doing it lovingly, so that you're good. I'm so glad that was helpful, Rhonda. Just being gentle. It's hard when it's family and it's, your grandson, you want to be there. You don't want to say no. I get it, and sometimes no is the most loving thing we can say. It's the most loving thing it's an act of love when we maintain a standard for how we want to be treated, how we want to be spoken to, how we want to be related to in relationship. And this is a wonderful demonstration of your own self-love, which is a huge lesson for everybody experiencing it. Okay. So I will leave you with that, Rhonda. And if you have more questions, please don't hesitate. Good. Hi, Tonari. What do you see for my finances this year? Let me see what Rhonda. I'll be with you in a second. Rhonda, what do you say? I'll tell his mom what you're telling me. Okay, good, good. Yes, tell her for sure, and we can talk more about that as well. Okay. So I don't want to predict a most likely probable outcome because based on your current energy. I want to, I can tell you what the relationship with money has been like, and then I want to empower you to sort of manifest something different. Okay. Because you get to create what your finances are going to look like this year. Okay. I see an improvement for sure. And I think that there's some things we just can't change because it's either, in the stars, it's in our energy, it's in our, karmic cycle. And so that much I can speak to. I think there's going to be an improvement, mostly because you deeply desire it. Okay. And I feel like the relationship with your finances has been, here's what I want to say to you. I want you to focus on how much money has been there for you in your life. Like, I want you to focus on all the times where you have felt supported by this energy of money. Okay. I know it hasn't been a lot. Okay. But there has been some evidence of that. And so what your guides want you to know is that they want you to focus on appreciating what you've had and what you have and the times where it's really been there for you, so that you can connect to that trust and safety in your relationship to money. And from there, you can manifest, whatever your financial goals are. Okay. And keep in mind that we don't really care about money. And this is for you and it's for anybody listening. We care about the way money helps us feel, which is powerful, safe, free, and what's Ron saying? Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so I want you to really, there is actually a video that, thank you, Rhonda, for mentioning that, a post that I posted on my YouTube content, which is healing your relationship to money. Okay, so I recommend that you watch that. So once you tap into that, feelings of appreciation and feelings of really trusting that money is there for you, because that's what's going on underneath the surface is what is, oh yeah, the experience of freedom, right? So that's what we want. We want the experience of freedom, right? The freedom to choose, the freedom to do what we want with our time, the freedom to travel, the freedom to just kind of live life the way we want to, right? Autonomy, which is a little bit different than freedom, but I think it's what you mean, is actually one of the highest values that human beings have. Okay, whether we're conscious of it or not, it's a very deep need that we have, is the need for autonomy and to have that need met. And for so many of us, we're not getting this need met because we feel enslaved to our jobs or enslaved to, having to make money or having to pay for things. And doesn't bring us joy. For a lot of us, we're not doing things that bring us joy, right? And so, so I really want you to focus on that feeling of freedom and what that feels like for you. What would you do with your life if you felt free, right? If you were free, how would you live? So practice cultivating that feeling of freedom, and you're going to start to shift your money situation, right? You'll start to shift the relationship to money, and there'll be, opportunities that come up. There'll be, perhaps surprise amounts that show up in your life, but really focus on that feeling, because that's what you want. Is you want that feeling of freedom. And when you practice cultivating that feeling of freedom, you're going to see that not just money comes into your life, but time freedom and relationship freedom and other freedoms, right? So whatever the frequency it is that you're focusing on, you're going to attract the circumstances that are likened to that frequency. Okay. So like I said, specifically tuning into your energy, just to answer your question directly, because you asked me, I do see an improvement. It's going to take a few months, okay, for things to shift. But this is because you're going to get serious about doing some inner work and really changing your mindset and your belief system about what's possible for you. And I do see, there's some type of, I don't know if it's a passive income or a different stream of income coming in. So this is significant to you and what you're creating. And so, there's either a side thing or there's some other money coming in from somewhere for you this year in 2025. So I'd be curious to see how that unfolds for you. And again, you want to open up those possibilities by doing the inner work to really allow that to be magnetized to you. Okay. So remember, we want what we want because of the way we think it's going to make us feel. Okay. So focus on the feeling and then watch what you attract into your life. Okay. I hope that's helpful. And feel free to leave a comment or ask questions. Hi, Miley. Miley says, oh, good. Thank you. I appreciate that's helpful. Okay. So Miley says, what do you see for my career in 2025? Okay. Let's see what I see for you. Let me tune in. When I tune into your energy, I feel like there is, you're adding to something that you're already doing. Okay. So I don't know if it's certification or a specific thing that you're adding to what you're doing. Perhaps there's some development in the current career path that you have that's happening this year. It's kind of like you are expanding your level of expertise, really honing in on that. And so, I feel like this year for you is really about like mastery, like coming into mastery, thinking about what it is that that you're currently doing. Start thinking about some of the ways in which you can improve or enhance what you're focusing on, what you do for work. And I feel like this is going to create some more visibility for you. So I think there's people watching you in terms of what it is that you do. I want to say communications, media, maybe even social media, something like that. But there's something in the realm of visibility you're going to, like, I feel you being more noticed. Okay. And so there's something about you, either learning a new skill or bringing in a new level of expertise that's really going to help you, Miley, in what you're creating. And that visibility is going to shift things for you career-wise. It's going to create new opportunities. But I feel like there's something new skill that you need to go get or do. Perhaps it's something you already know about. If this resonates, please confirm, that is going to help you in 2025 a lot. So yeah, I think that there's something also like I said, something in the realm of media and perhaps communications and so on. So really think about how you're expressing yourself and how you want to be seen, and watch what happens. Okay, and come back and let me know how that unfolds for you. I hope that's helpful, Miley. Good. Okay, last question for tonight. Okay, CG. CG says hello, wondering if you can sense why I'm not moving forward in my life. Separated from my husband of nearly 30 years, almost 4 years ago. Unhappy for many years, but haven't pursued divorce. Fear. Yeah, I mean, listen, this is the theme tonight, and I've said it the whole hour. There's a lot of unresolved resentment still. Okay, so you were with this person for 30 years. Okay, and unhappy for many of them, as you just stated. So there's like part of why you're not moving on is because there's things you're still wounded about, unresolved issues, resentment, lack of forgiveness, even for yourself, lack of healing around the circumstances that happen that are sort of unconsciously guarding you. It's kind of, I would say fear is the root of all reaction. So yes, to answer your question, I think you're afraid of getting hurt. I think you're afraid of losing yourself in a relationship, of losing your identity in another relationship. I think you gave so much of yourself to the marriage in the 30 years that you were there that you kind of became invisible, and invisible to yourself even. And I think that it was so hard to make that decision to leave, and you finally got to this place where you had the courage to do it, that you just, there's a part of you that doesn't want to lose yourself again. Okay. And this is very normal, and it's very common. It's not unusual. You need to do some healing work around the experience of the marriage. Let me see. Are you confirming? Yes, invisible. Yeah, good. So, I mean, this is what I feel when I tune into your energy. Good. So there is a part of you that just like doesn't want to risk it again, doesn't want to learning how to be fully in love without losing yourself is an important lesson for all of us. Okay. But this specifically relates to your question, where you want to learn how to be giving your heart and being vulnerable and being in an intimate relationship without all of these triggers coming up, right? These old unresolved wounds coming up. And when they do, that you have the tools to fully deal with them without shutting yourself off from whoever you want to be in a relationship with. Okay. So, I would do the resentment work, releasing those resentments, forgiveness of your ex-husband, of yourself, letting go of the events of what happened, and really choosing this time right now to prepare yourself for this intentional love that you want to create. Whatever it is that you're manifesting, then this goes for you, CG, and for anybody listening. It's very important to be intentional with your energy, right? We can't just say, oh, I'd like to have this. It's just wishful thinking. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen. It happens when we say, I am going to have this. I'm ready to have this because I'm doing the work to prepare the way, to hold the frequency, to, make room in my inner life for this, to show up, to materialize intangible evidence. Okay. So this is the work that you need to focus on, is just forgiving the resentments, letting them go, trusting love, learning how to trust love again. I talk about this almost every week, where I talk about rewiring the subconscious mind. You can create some positive affirmations and listen to some, what are you saying? Right. My energy has been scattered. Thank you. I'm going to reach out for an individual session. Appreciate. Okay, good. Good. You're welcome. I would love to have you. The links to book are below. But this is, we're just going to talk to you about rewiring your subconscious. This is important. So creating some positive affirmations, or even listening to a guided practice as you're drifting off to sleep at night with some headphones, is going to help this accelerate this process for you. Okay. And of course we can talk about more, that more in a session. But this is very important. Just, you want to unboard yourself, and allow for the grief and all of the pain from the past to flow forward, so you can deal with it, so you can heal it, so you can put it back in the past where it belongs, and be able to move on with your life. Okay. So this is what needs to happen. I hope that's helpful. Good. Miley says, thank you. I've been reflecting on what specific steps I need to take, as well as any additional training or education I might need to pursue. Beautiful. Great. So, you're on the right path, and there is some additional training as well. And there is someone in your organization who can help you. So I want you to seek out mentorship in your current role, in your current field, because the resources are there. And I think that if you show up saying, I want to learn new things, and I want to add this to my, what it is that I'm doing, to my expertise, this is the year of mastery for you, as I said before. So as you step into that, I think that's also going to create a lot of support in your environment and encouragement for you to grow. Okay. So, I'm sending you blessings and best of luck with that. Let me know how that unfolds for you. I think we're going to wrap this up tonight. My dear friend Lacey is moderating. Thank you for your help. I thank all of you for joining me. It's been such a pleasure to channel for you. I hope that you received the guidance that you needed. Here is the link to book a one-on-one session with me. You can go to my website and book. There's a variety of different offerings. I do hour-long readings. I do long-term coaching programs. So have a look around. I'm happy to do a life guidance reading for those of you that just need a little bit of guidance and so on. You're welcome. And also don't forget to register for my upcoming mediumship demonstration. That's also on the one-to-one page. That's on March 1st. That's the 2-hour forgiveness workshop that I was talking about, which seems to be the theme for tonight. And of course, if you like this content, please feel free to subscribe, to add, any comments or post any questions, and I'd be happy to answer them. And I will see you all back here next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific on my Oracle Hour. I love you all so much. You're so welcome. And I will see you soon. Lots of love.